Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Andrea Zenz, and I am one of the product managers here at Standard Imaging. I welcome you and thank you for attending our webinar series. Just a quick note before delving into today's topic, this webinar is being recorded. Hang on. Okay, starting over in case anybody didn't hear the beginning. Sorry about that. So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Andrea Zenz, and I'm one of the product managers here at Standard Imaging. I welcome you and thank you for attending our webinar series. Just a note before delving into today's topic, this webinar is being recorded and will be available for viewing on our website shortly. Attendees are in listen-only mode, but you are encouraged to type questions that you might have into the question box on the webinar console, and I will try to answer these at the end of the talk. By way of brief introduction, Standard Imaging is based in Middleton, Wisconsin, and was founded in 1989. From our humble beginnings with well chambers and electrometers, we have grown into a QA powerhouse where we design and manufacture a full suite of QA products for radiation therapy. Customers are our partners in ensuring that radiation treatments are as safe, efficient, and effective as possible. It is an absolute pleasure to work with you now and in the future to solve your QA challenges. A little bit about me. I've been with Standard Imaging for over 16 years now. Most of that time as part of the sales team. However, I've now moved over to the product management team. It's been a couple of years since I did that. And there are several products under my purview, including our brachytherapy solutions, QA stereo checker for filmless CyberKnife and machine QA, QA pilot, which is an overall QA management system software. And then, of course, our Stereotactic solutions, which is the main focus of today's presentation. My art room is still my home office as we work our way back into the office. This is a place where I love making kaleidoscopes and jewelry. I like upcycling materials to make something ordinary into something extraordinary. So while my personal hobbies are seemingly very different from my day job, there are many similarities. As a product manager, I like solving problems and technicalities to make new and better products for our customers. So on to today's actual topic of conversation. Specialized Stereotactic QA solutions, Lucy 3D QA Phantom, Stereotactic Dose Verification Phantom, and more for uncompromising tolerances for unwavering trust. So let's get serious and talk about what it takes to have an effective Stereotactic QA program. After all, delivering just a few fractions at high dose rates can be daunting. Precision and accuracy in QA are of the utmost concern as you care for your patients. So products that provide that should be chosen carefully. Stereotactic QA goals include positional accuracy, dose accuracy, and validation of imaging, planning, and treatment systems. Now I'm first going to talk about SBRT, since stereotactic programs don't usually start by treating complex multiple metastases in the brain, but with larger tumors in other organs, typically lung. So the SI solution to get you started with SBRT include the Stereotactic Dose Verification Phantom, or SDVP for short, with its QA slabs and lung materials here. We also talk about our respiratory gating platform, which is a simplified platform that independently controls range of motion and the respiratory cycle. Winston Lutz pointer is, of course, hugely valuable for your SBRT and SRS programs. And you want a powerful electrometer, so I recommend our Supermax electrometer. It is very powerful, extremely reliable, and offers a lot of bang for the buck, so to speak. It's got nice complex features built into it. And of course, no solution can be called complete without detectors. Two of our best detectors for verifying small fields for small field delivery are the W2 scintillator with the Max SD imaged here on the left, and the X-Radon A26 micropoint chamber here on the right. The W2 is our next generation from the W1, and one of the upgrades to the W2 is that it now has a 1x1 millimeter fiber, or you can also use a 1x3 millimeter fiber, which is what the W1 had. Now the W2 and the W1, they have a KQ of 1, which make them the premier measurement detectors for the smallest fields. But the 1x1 millimeter fiber is what people really, really like about this. So directional independence there, no difference between perpendicular or horizontal. The X-Radon A26 is made entirely of low Z materials, which makes it the only reference class micropoint chamber on the market without any of the extremely scientific terminology here, wonky effects that other micropoint chambers on the market currently do have. And that includes our A16 chamber. So using the A26 is, with its predictable response curve, makes small field measurements as easy as using a farmer chamber in larger fields. A little bit more about SDVP. It's versatile and compact, being only 20 by 20 centimeters. Seen here are 4 standard configurations. There are embedded fiducials in the Phantom, top and bottom, in the lung slabs, which are nonlinear, non-coplanar to create that isocentric volume. Our ion chamber plug with gold fiducials has, extra local markers for localization and fiducial tracking of those smaller tumors. The QA slab, which you can see here, includes a variety of materials to enable you to spot check CT densities. Includes air, water equivalent material, adipose fat, trabecular, and cortical bone. It also has high contrast target and avoidance structures that are a great test of the treatment planning system's ability to reconstruct and make sure that you're treating to the target and not sensitive ROIs around it. Also, the SDVP, or the Stereotactic Dose Verification Lung Insert, facilitates, as seen here, Monte Carlo type calculations, something otherwise found only in much more expensive Phantoms. Now I'm going to move on to the Lucy Phantom. The Lucy Phantom is the gold standard used for end-to-end testing of the entire stereotactic treatment chain. The precision manufacturing of this Phantom allows the user to verify cumulative uncertainties of the treatment chain to within 0.1 millimeter accuracy. This is accomplished by using a variety of inserts with precisely known volumes, geometries, and distances for accurate measurement. We work with each customer to tailor the best Lucy package to your department's particular needs. Lucy is uniquely designed to lock the Phantom and inserts in place to facilitate reproducible setup and measurement to the very tightest tolerances. So Lucy is put through the same processes as an actual patient, which means that the Phantom will be scanned on CT and MRI to start that treatment chain. It is therefore very important to perform a variety of QA tests on those imaging systems. For CT image QA, we have marker cylinders, irregular volume inserts, a couple of different varieties, CT densities, same type as included in our SDVP, and in a distortion grid if that is of interest to you. The CT densities are a good spot check, as I mentioned before, with the air, water equivalent, adipose fat, trabecular, and cortical bone. CT scan tests may include various scan thicknesses to find the optimal thickness for SRS imaging, spacing, distortion, and phantom orientation. MRI inserts include matching MRI marker cylinders. These are filled with a mineral oil. Matching irregular volume inserts, the MR signal generator, and an MR distortion grid. The isocentric irregular volume up here on the top right is the same for both CT and MR. The marker cylinders for CT and MR have a known distance of 5 millimeters center BB to center BB, and they are placed within the spherical phantom 60 millimeters apart, again at very accurately measured distance. The irregular volume inserts, whether you use the isocentric or not, also again are known volumes that can be measured against. CT and MR inserts are used to perform fusion and verify accuracy of multimodality fusion, CT to CT, CT to MR, verify object reconstruction, compare scanned object volume against known volume, verify position of objects, those centroids and BBs, and also for distance measurements. It is worth noting that we use irregular volumes instead of just circular or spherical volumes, as this is the quickest way to see any issues in image fusion. After all, if you have a rotational issue, an arc on a circle is still just an arc on a circle. For treatment planning system, plan system QA, you can test the following: organ volumes, manual versus auto segmentation, contoured volume versus a standard volume or versus DBH isodose volumes, dose models like Monte Carlo, conventional, pencil beam, and the treatment planning system's limitations for small fields and accessories in couch modeling. The plan on the left here is a plan to deliver 4 conformal arcs to an isocentric target, in this case the irregular isocentric volume, and the one on the right is planning to treat the largest in our irregular volume insert. Verification of the treatment is done using film and micropoint ion chambers and other small field detectors. Note that the detector insert width is 1 cm. Therefore, your detector needs to have an outer diameter of less than 1 centimeter. So once again, the X-ray in 826 and W2 scintillators are ideal solutions for those point measurements. One of the unique aspects of our Phantom is that we lock the detector into place. So you never have to worry about an air gap or a chamber displacement, especially if you're rotating the Phantom around its 360-degree base here. The centroid of the collecting volume will be locked at that geometric center of the Lucy Phantom, no matter the orientation or rotation. The Lucy 3D volumetric target dosimetry kit includes multiple pieces, if you will. It includes the multiple metastases insert on the left here, and film over here, spacers on the right, so that you can align film at the center plane of these various targets in the multi-mets insert and perform QA. We also have, and this is a clear picture of what is also provided in the SDVP for target and avoidance structures. And again, these are hard targets and avoidance structures for the treatment planning system recreate, so they are fantastic for testing contouring and volume accuracy, image transfer accuracy, and the limitations of your dose algorithms. You can therefore go through the entire workflow with these inserts as a great end-to-end test. Here we have an image of a C-shaped target planned for delivery, which is then verified with film and micro point chamber. The multi-met insert has 4 targets in nonlinear non-coplanar arrangement. These 4 targets plus the hidden target insert that provides a 5th target for planning and treatment. In this case, we show a plan with 2 targets using the multi-mets insert. The planned versus measured results were found to have a pass rate of 99% for that 2%, 2 millimeters, and a dose agreement of greater than 98% for this particular case. Other end-to-end tests with the LUCI Phantom include hidden target test. So we include an insert with a center fiducial to perform a hidden Winston-Lutz test. Use this to plan, scan, treat, and verify the process of checking position, dose, and dose distribution. Check all of those agreements to within your tight tolerances. Mechanical accuracy is tested using our Winston-Lutz pointer here. And once again, for stereotactic, you're looking for a tolerance for it to meet less than a millimeter. You can use our PIBS Pro software, especially the stereotactic module, in order to automate that Winston-Lutz test. To summarize, whether you use the LUCI on its standard base, locked to the couch lock bar, or you lock the Phantom into place into the isocentric coordinate system with an interface, or you want to ensure that the centroid of your collecting volume is indeed at your ISO center, you can be confident that you are performing your SRS end-to-end QA with the best precision and accuracy possible. Now, I have focused the greatest part of this presentation on the hardware side of the standard imaging solution, but it probably leaves you wondering a bit more about in-depth patient QA. Again, few fractions delivered at high dose rates requires the most rigorous QA. So let me just mention our patient QA solutions that provide the most pertinent information automatically for your team to make treatment decisions. Firstly, Adaptivo, which includes pre-treatment, in vivo, and adaptive modules. Adaptivo gives you a full insight into your patient's treatment at each fraction, improving your ability to adapt plans as needed. The software is not only automates pre-treatment and exit dose delivery verification, but also uses a daily or most recent CBCT to provide automatic daily and cumulative 3D dose comparison to intended dose. LinacView is Standard Imaging's log file-based patient QA solution. An overview of the workflow is shown here. An approved plan is exported to both the Linac, including Elekta's MR Linac, the Unity, and also to LinacView. Once LinacView receives the RT plan, the log files that are generated from each delivery of this plan will automatically be brought into LinacView, associated with the original RT plan, and analyzed. Not only does LinacView provide pass, alert, and failure results before the patient leaves the table, it also provides a wealth of information to investigate, understand, and address any issues with patient treatment. So that brings me to the end of today's presentation. I'll give you a moment to type any questions you may have about our stereotactic solutions. And while you're doing that, I'd just like to remind everyone that we have a wealth of information about our products and services on our website. You can also register for upcoming webinars or view previously recorded webinars on our website. Should you think of any questions once I end today's session, please contact us, sales at Standard Imaging, or myself, Azens at Standard Imaging. That would be great. We want to address anything you may have. And I also want to say, yay, Astro's on its way. It will be our first in-person meeting. So whether you're attending Astro in person or you're going to attend virtually, we'll be ready to connect with you and share all of what's new here at Standard Imaging. So let me take a quick look here to see if any questions have come through. Give me a minute. Well, looky there. I don't see any. Oh, so I must have covered it all. In case I didn't, again, reach out to us. We're here to help you out. So since I don't see any questions, I'd like to thank you all very much for attending today and for taking the time out of your busy day to join me. Have a great rest of your day wherever you are. And hopefully we'll be seeing you again in the near future. Bye-bye.